Hello, welcome to another INFJ Ramble. Today, I am going to be talking about rejection. Um, I might have made a video on this. I don't think I made it public though, because I just wasn't satisfied with the content. So here I am again, revisiting this topic, and let's talk on it. So I think you will agree that nobody likes to feel rejection. I think rejection um, can be perceived as painful. It's almost like a personal attack on your character or your personality, especially if you heavily identify with that. But if you were to approach rejection from a very, I don't know, detached space, then it doesn't really bother you. You know, you don't take it personally, you don't have expectations, you just kind of like put yourself out there and see what happens. That's how I approach life. I see it as an experiment, honestly. I think it's kind of funny, and I'm super curious. So it's just like I'm like, ooh, if I do this, like I wonder if you know it'll work out or it won't work out. And if it does, cool. If it doesn't, lesson learned. So, and of course, this came with age because when I was younger, I encountered my fair share of rejection from a lot of like from especially relationships. Like, oh my god, I experienced my share of rejection, and I feel like the amount of rejection that I encountered would probably break the normal person or traumatize them to the point where they would kind of like just sit in fear and sit in place and do nothing, you know. um yeah, man, it's painful. But then as you get older, and I think that's the key, guys, as you get older, you start recognizing why you encounter rejection. And a lot of it's basically rejection is redirection. Rejection is God's protection. If it's meant for you, then it will come to you effortlessly. You won't really have to exert too much energy or try, you know? I think what happens is people take it personally, or yeah, yeah, pretty much bottom line, they take it personally. And rejection is basically, I think a lot of people have a huge, like, fear. Maybe they encounter fear when it comes to rejection. But like I said, if you make it fun, guys, then it's not really, it doesn't really bother you. Or so I've learned as I get older. This is a prime example. So when I'm at work, I would have like coworkers come up to me and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like I would like to take a LOA, but I'm afraid to ask." And then I would look at them like, "Just ask." They're like, "No, like I don't know, like blah blah blah." And I'm just like, "Well, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you do ask, then there is a possibility of having your request granted, but you won't know until you try, you know?" And then like for me, like um when I ask, I usually one do it from a place of curiosity. Two, I don't have any expectations. Like I don't expect them to say yes or no. I just kind of like go in there blindly and go, and like out of my, I don't know, I'm curious, like, okay, if I ask this, like I don't know how it's going to like fall, but I'm gonna ask anyway because I'm curious. And then if it falls in my favor, cool. If it doesn't fall in my favor, cool. Like I'm just like, okay, well, I guess that wasn't meant to be. You know, it's like just don't take things personally. Um, and that's, I don't know. I've made a video on this too, guys. Don't take it personally because it's really not personal. You know, and just remind yourself, rejection is protection, or rejection is redirection. You know, it's not personal. If it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not, then it's not. It's as simple as that. Just radically accept that, you know? But yeah. I've like I said, I've encountered my fair share of rejection, so like it doesn't really bother me anymore. Like, like um because I've come to understand like why you get rejected. And in the moment you don't really understand like why something that you possibly want isn't unraveling in your favor. But I mean, if you were to really look at the bigger like picture, like maybe it's doing you a favor, like I don't know. Maybe there's something better in store for you that's lining up, and so you being rejected is actually saving you time and energy investing in something that could be stale or stagnant. I don't know, I'm just putting stuff out there. But yeah, people, um what else was I going to share about that? Yeah, like when I was younger, I would try and try and try and try. But as I get older, I just don't have the energy to try and try and try. So it's just kind of like, well, if things don't work out and things don't fall through and things don't align, then it probably just wasn't meant for me. But I take the lesson and then I proceed to take steps forward. Also, I don't allow fear to paralyze me. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, you know what the trick for me is, and I don't know if this will help you, but anytime I feel afraid of something, and you're probably afraid of rejection, or yeah, pretty much afraid of something not working out, which is also a form of rejection. Doesn't necessarily have to be from another person, just in general, just being rejected, like applying for a loan or um, applying for a vacation or an LOA or, a relationship, I just kind of like approach it from a place where I allow my curiosity to override my fear because it's like I want to know if this is going to work or not, and I won't know unless I try. And if I get rejected, then I learn the lesson. If I don't get rejected, then, kudos, but I approach it from like a place of curiosity and I don't personalize it and I don't have a set expectation to the outcome. And I just kind of like move forward like that. Just like kind of make it fun and exciting, Because I know like when I was younger, I used to be like super serious, like super serious. And like, oh, like kind of like I probably had more control issues too. And my expectations were like sky high. And now I just like don't have expectations. I am not as serious. And I just kind of accept things as they are, instead of how I would like them to be. Period. Anyways, if you learned something cool, if you didn't learn anything, that's cool too. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for watching. Blessings to one and all. Amen.